Hey guys, welcome to my new tech lifestyle vlog, I don't know, something. So I decided this time to do something that is not connected to coding, and I wanted to share with you some pros and cons, what I think about working in tech, to share with you a little bit of my career path and what I think worked out really good for me and what maybe could be better. Hope you enjoy it. Maybe if you are currently thinking about going to tech, especially if you're a woman, that I will be very happy if you do. But if you are not, then I hope I can still give you some insights, and maybe you will understand better and decide for yourself better what to do. Let's go. I think one of the things what I love about working in tech is that you always in the heart of the progress, let's say. I mean that the progress of mankind is going to be always connected, in my opinion, to technology. And for example, many people say that now it is the age of AI. So when you work in tech, you are kind of in the heart of everything. You see how everything changes constantly. It is impossible to be always updated at the same pace as everything, as technology is changing, but at least you know what is going on, and especially if you're interested in it and you're passionate about it, and I don't know, your brain is always working and you don't get stuck, in my opinion. You always learn something, you always find out about something new, and you want to try to implement it, to change something, to switch the field maybe. For example, I am never worried that I'm going to be irrelevant or kind of my brain is going to be, I don't know, dead, my brain cells. I'm pretty sure that I'm always going to be active from the point of my career and try to always be in the center of everything and to learn new things. Another thing what I love about working in this field is that for me it's hard to believe that I'm going to be out of job, let's say, even with AI and everyone screaming that AI is going to take our jobs. You still need people to train it, and I think always when something is outdated, then there are new opportunities coming up, and it's just important to stay updated, to know what is going on. And when you think that something is going to be more relevant, then for example maybe it is a time to start learning something new, to go outside of your box and out of your comfort zone. And also what I really love about tech is that there are so many opportunities also for people, for example, for people who are more introverted and they, for example, don't like to connect with people and they prefer to sit in front of the computer and only code. And also, for example, who are more easygoing and they like networking. It is great that now where tech is going, that, for example, you could find an opportunity where you can also use your soft skills. And sometimes it's even more important to be, for example, a team player, or to be easy to work with, or someone who has good communicational skills, and this outweighs, for example, some gaps in knowledge. So I really love it because, for example, in the very beginning of my career, before I started working in tech, I worked on administrative position at the university, and I had to talk a lot to people and work a lot with people, with students, with their parents. It took from me a lot of energy. I really liked it, but on the other hand, I wanted also to have calm moments even during work hours, and work only with computer, and that's it. And for example, for some time I did have that, and now I think I would prefer some balance. I would love to work with code and with computer, but I really love to communicate with, for example, clients and with my team. Networking, I'm not good at it at all, I think, but I think it's also some sort of skill that you can work on it and develop it, and I would really love to do it. Yeah, I think I would prefer to have some sort of more social part of my job and then also coding part. And I believe that in tech you can do it. You can find something like this. One disadvantage though of working in tech is that you sit a lot. And for example, I am an active person. I love doing a lot of sport, and I feel myself really tired and exhausted when I sit for the whole day. But on the other hand, I really love that tech companies, good tech companies, that they have and give opportunities to their workers, that they understand that, and they give different opportunities to their workers. For example, they have gym, they have some sort of subscriptions to some sport activities, such things, and I find it really great. Also, in my opinion, tech is always about community, and you can meet really great people. For example, also at some points in my career I was fired a few times because my startups were closed. At that point, for example, we went to different meetups and we already had some sort of connections, network. We just wrote to some group of open source community in meetups of which we always participated and asked for help. That I have, for example, at that time I had 3 years of experience, and I said like that I was front-end developer looking for a new opportunity and everything, and I get so many interviews. Of course, unfortunately I didn't find a job at once. It's always not so easy, but still it's just so great that I received so many reactions to it, and everyone wanted to help, and also they kind of shared their experience if they think that it was a great opportunity to work at that company, for example, which was also very helpful. And it always helps you also to understand if you want to work somewhere or not. Now let's talk about the most important thing, in my opinion, money and opportunities. Actually, that's why I also chose this field, because I knew that it's paid well. I was born in Kazakhstan. To be honest, I wasn't sure that I'm going to find a good job there, especially in tech, because people are still a little bit conservative, and I heard many stories how it was hard for women to find good, well-paid job in tech there. And I always wanted to move to Israel at that point, and I knew that you can find a really well-paid job there, because it's also a nation that has many startups and many opportunities. That's why I chose this path, and I never regretted it. And now in Germany, it hit me a little bit, because here IT is not so hyped as, for example, in Israel, and I receive a lot less than I received there. But there are still many opportunities, and I think that in the future, especially after I get a little bit more experience here and I understand better mentality and culture and everything, and also when I start being more active in the community career paths, my opportunities will just go up. There were so many benefits there. For example, your food was paid, often got some bonuses. There was always free drinks and some food, and also like once per week usually we had some sort of lunch paid by a company. Usually there are some gyms or such things that are also paid. So yeah, it was pretty fun. Maybe actually one of the biggest pluses working in Germany for now is work-life balance, because, for example, before that, especially when I worked in startups, it was a nightmare. if you want to get an experience and learn a lot, then startup is to go. But for example, when I was younger, it was fine and it was really, really interesting. I learned a lot and I don't regret it, but we worked sometimes for 12 hours a day and it was really exhausting. So for example, now it would be really hard for me to do it. So I'm happy that we have work-life balance, and after your days over, you are not going to be texted or called, and that's what I really love. And also it was hard for me in the beginning because I got used to the space and that you constantly have to finish your task no matter how much time you have left. So for example, if I didn't manage to finish my task, I need to do overtime. But here in Germany, I'm trying to learn how to slow down and not to overwork, because if I do overwork, then after that, hello burnout. Yeah, it really exists, and I think it's time when you hate everything, and it's really hard at the time to go to work. Sometimes it can also come to some diseases. That's why it's better not to get to it. That's why you have to learn how to listen to your body, listen to yourself. And for example, when you understand that you are already tired or exhausted, then you need to take a break. And also that's why I love Germany, because wow, we have 30 paid vacation days. It's like twice more than I had before. In the beginning I was like, it's so crazy, how come? What are you going to do with your vacation days? And now I understand that, yeah, that's actually really good, because then you don't have to worry that you don't have enough days if you want to plan a vacation for 2 weeks. Or you don't have to worry if you, for example, want to spend time with your relatives or friends. Or for example, sometimes my mom flies to me and then I can just take a one-day vacation or something like this to pick her up from the airport, which happens like once a year. You don't get so exhausted and you still have energy to continue working and continue investing a lot of energy in your work. And I find it's really great, and it only benefits everyone. So probably one biggest disadvantage that I think still exists in tech is lack of diversity. I am, as a woman, I feel it. I will be happy to hear your opinion in comments, but I see that there are still not so many women in tech, and I understand that some of reasons of that are that they are just afraid of, and there are many stereotypes saying that it is so difficult and it's bullshit. I would love to have, for example, a woman colleague of mine to work with me, because it would be also easier for me, and people around me, they would get used to it, they would get used to work with women, hoping that somewhere in the nearest future we are going to have more women, that girls are not going to be afraid to come to this field. There is nothing that you can't learn or can't overcome. And I forgot to mention one more thing, so it's kind of a bonus for you. I think it's wonderful that we have an opportunity to work remote. And in tech, usually there are many such opportunities. Before Germany, it was a little bit harder. I don't know why, but there were many managers that like micromanagement, and they don't trust you if you don't work from the office. But I think if you don't work, then you don't work in the office too. So it's kind of strange for me, but usually I had only 3 days opportunity to work from home, and especially when you need like to go somewhere really far and to take few types of transports, and it's kind of really exhausting. But now in Germany, I really love that they have this culture to let you work remotely, and also I did already 2 times workation, so to speak, that we traveled somewhere and then we worked during the day, and in the evening we just went out and enjoyed the food and sightseeing and everything. Again, I think it's also an opportunity to avoid burnout out and to stay motivated, enjoy your work, and not to have to take vacation, for example, every time. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy any content connected to life in Germany, tech, coding, what else do I do? Gardening, traveling, anything of this, anything of this, then subscribe, like, and support my channel. And I see you in the next video. Have a great day wherever you are. Cheers! So working in tech has been both one of the most rewarding and most challenging things I've ever done. The key is finding the right environment, setting boundaries and staying curious, but not comparing yourself to others. Now I want to hear from you. Are you in tech? Are you thinking of joining? What's been your experience and what would you add to this list?